Up with KREM begins now.
Now at 6:30, the first vaccines in Spokane have been administered this morning. This is a historic moment that happened at Sacred Heart Medical Center. Our team coverage continues next.
And as people do start to get the vaccine, many of you have asked, what happens if you don't want to? Now, one Washington politician wants to make sure people have a choice. And we're asking you at home, do you think the vaccines should be mandatory?
Well, we're officially 1 week away from Christmas, and there are still many fun and festive activities to do right here in Spokane. The Christmas lights you can check out and how you can paint a snowman this weekend.
Do you want to paint a snowman?
Yeah, sing it.
I can't sing that one. That's a weird set of notes. But painting a snowman's about your only chance to see one. Snow is melting fast.
Let's get to breaking news. Just moments ago, the first COVID vaccine was given in Spokane.
Yeah, we're taking a look at video from that historic moment, which happened here within the past hour here of Up with KREM. It happened at Sacred Heart as a Providence transplant physician received the first dose in Spokane County. And what an amazing story, Tim. Dr. Ojo basically coming off of that transplant shift right into that vaccine.
Yeah, you know, we saw him not even flinch, basically, worked a full shift and then received that COVID vaccine. And he also brought up an important thing that, he said he wanted to lead by example as a person of color. He said that he knows it's impacted those communities particularly hard and that he wanted to set an example. So we do want to get to Nicole now, though.
Yeah, she was live at the Sacred Heart Medical Center this morning to hear and see all of it. Nicole, tell us what it was like.
Yeah, Tim, Joshua, like you mentioned, a huge day for Spokane County as that Dr. Ojo got that first vaccine ever here in Spokane. And really what came from the, only 6 minutes, it was very quick, of a live stream, was really a message of hope. So take a look at this video. Can't watch it enough. Again, that message of hope and that kind of symbol of hope of getting that vaccine here in Spokane County. That is Dr. Ojo, like you guys mentioned. He is a transplant physician here at Sacred Heart. He's also a part of a number of Spokane doctors and nurses and caregivers that are going to be getting the vaccine today. Now, the live stream started with a blessing from Providence's mission leader. Then, of course, Dr. Ojo talked quickly about how important getting the vaccine is. And then this all comes as Washington State continues Part 1A of the vaccine distribution plan. As of yesterday, the state had given out a total of 1,159 vaccines. Now we're at 1,160. And this is all happening almost exactly 1 year after we started talking about the coronavirus here on Up with KREM. So after this long of going through this pandemic, after seeing that vaccine be administered to Dr. Ojo, the group of people, I'm assuming staff members of Sacred Heart, definitely clapped, had some cheering as well, because of course this is a symbol of things hopefully getting better when it comes to the pandemic. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
And we're going to keep our eyes on the situation developing throughout the county as well as those vaccinations continue. We're also keeping our eyes on the forecast as Jeremy's promising
what's that?
a not so white Christmas, right?
Oh man, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we have to be real about this one. We're just way too warm. Even right now, temperatures are hanging out above freezing here in town. We are up to, about 34 in Spokane, 34 in Deer Park, 35 in Coeur d'Alene, even warmer up in Sandpoint, Pullman, Moscow, above freezing. Just about everyone's above freezing. You have to go all the way up to Omak to find some cooler temperatures early today. And that's about it. That means everything that's fallen, well, it's mostly rain, some snowflakes mixing in, but don't expect any sort of accumulation out of this early round. I think it's one of those ones where if we get anything out of it, it's just kind of in the air, and that's about it. Later on tonight, it's after dinner time tonight, we get our round of rain that moves in, and that moves in late tonight before our next round of showers moves in tomorrow. That one arrives at about dinner time, and it's all rain for us. And notice how it looks like snow in those higher elevations. Unfortunately, as that push of moisture arrives, that starts to bring some warmth along with it, and those snow levels really start to rise from about 6 to midnight tomorrow. This afternoon, we're up to 40 degrees here in Spokane. It is going to be very, very warm, but not near as warm as it is over the weekend. 43 tomorrow, 48 by Sunday. That's thanks to wind and rain moving in.
All right, thanks so much, Jeremy. It's time now for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Spokane County Democrats will hold a short press conference this morning at 11 a.m. and they'll be live over Zoom to address misinformation that was spread after an arson attempt at their office last week. Now, we told you right here on Up with KREM last week about the man who walked into their office in Spokane. He then falsely told them he had a bomb, and he is now in court after being charged with attempted arson.
Interim Spokane Health Officer Dr. Frank Velasquez says he's in support of Spokane County school districts following the new state school guidelines. This will allow phasing in additional grades 3rd through 5th for in-person learning starting in mid-January. He said in part the collective responsibility to slow the spread of COVID-19 remains if we want to move forward with in-person learning. We all need to work together by following the health measures and by receiving the vaccine when it's available to you.
Governor Inslee also unveiled his proposed budget from 2021 to 2023. It includes a capital gains tax, which would affect a small fraction of the state's wealthiest taxpayers. The proposed tax change would raise more than $3.5 billion over the next 4 years. Earned income from salaries and wages are not capital gains and would not be taxed.
The Idaho Council on Developmental Disabilities and 30 other organizations signed a letter to the Idaho state government about legal and safety concerns for their legislative session that will start in 2021. It says people with disabilities want to participate in the legislative session but can't do so safely without proper COVID-19 protocols and measures to deal with armed, uncontrolled, angry mobs. Officials at Idaho's Capitol say they remain opposed to a mask mandate and want to keep most proceedings in person.
And the first week that Washington and Idaho residents can get vaccinated for coronavirus did also include some bad news from the federal government. The next shipment of vaccines will be much smaller than originally expected. Washington originally expected 75,000 doses, but now that number is closer to 45,000. Governor Inslee says it doesn't seem to be a problem with production on Pfizer's end. Rather, it seems like a communication issue at the federal government level. Idaho will also receive 44% less than their expected amount. The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare says no explanation was given as to why the number of vaccines has been dramatically reduced. And that's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
Well, we are 7 sleeps away from Christmas, my friends. It's also the last weekend before the big day. And if you're looking for something to do with your loved ones, we have you covered in this week's holiday edition of 2 About Town. All right, first up, do you want to paint a snowman? Join Pinot Palette to paint Disney's Christmas album cover featuring Olaf. Look at that. That's awesome. Well, this is a virtual event. It's happening on Sunday at noon. These are so much fun if you've never done one. They teach you pretty much how to do anything and you really look like an artist. The cost is $35 and it includes a paint-at-home kit which has a canvas, paintbrushes, paint, and all the supplies you need to join in on the live interactive class from home. Visit pinotpalettes.com to register. Well, here's a live look at the skate ribbon in Riverfront Park. This is a Spokane favorite in the heart of downtown. You can skate under the lights and the city tree. New COVID-19 guidelines are in place, which include making a reservation for less people to skate, wearing a mask and gloves while skating, and a limit to the amount of people that are allowed to watch you skate. You can still participate in this holiday tradition by going to riverfrontspokane.org for more information. And speaking of Riverfront Park, while you're out there, stop by and check out the Tunnel of Lights. Spokane is sparkling with new holiday decorations in Riverfront Park. The new lighting displays light up the park. Visitors can also check out the holiday tree walk, which features 40 specifically decorated trees spread throughout the park. It runs from sunset to 10 p.m. nightly through January 3rd. Topping our list is the Enchanted Garden Drive-Through. It's the holiday lights at Manitou, many people know it as. This is a decades-long Spokane tradition. Typically, it's held indoors at Manitou's Geyser Conservatory, but this year it's outdoors to allow for physical distancing. So grab some hot cocoa and explore twinkling festive lights along 1.5 miles from inside one of the city's most historic parks. So here's a map of the holiday lights. Don't forget to enter along 25th and turn north onto Tico Street or Manitou Boulevard. You'll want to do this soon though. It ends on Sunday and a lot of people didn't know that. The hours are from 4:30 to 9:30 tonight and tomorrow. Then on Sunday, it only is from 4:30 to 8:30. Seems like a lot of people have this on their list this year though. This is a line of traffic on Thursday night. Yesterday, one of our coworkers here at KREM shot this video and she says the traffic was bumper to bumper all the way to 10th and Grand. So maybe pack some extra cocoa and enjoy, soak it in because you may be in line for a while to enjoy those lights. I imagine a lot of people will be out there this weekend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I was actually just thinking, where would I want to go to get some takeout that I could take there and then sit in line, maybe enjoy it, because something's got to occupy my time while I'm waiting in there.
Yeah, if you do too much cocoa, eventually you got to go to the bathroom.
Right.
You're in the back of the car like, this was a bad idea, and you're stuck in line. So maybe food is a good way, a good way to
It's
find
cool though, they do have a radio station that you can tune into, so there's festive music, so you can get in the holiday spirit. I know a lot of people wanted to do things like caroling and whatnot this year, but now you can all do that from your car. So
it just makes me feel like I'm a kid all over again. I used to do that every year with my parents. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive down that and I'm just going to roll down my window and carol to the other cars.
There you go. Jeremy has a great singing voice.
It's beginning to look. No, I'm sorry.
Well, we also do have a holiday light guide on the KREM 2 app. You can also share your location with us if you have a great display that you want to share with others, so people can check out the displays all over town, because it's not just at Manitou, obviously. All right, Jeremy, let's talk weather.
I guess we have to. You know, oftentimes you think, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. It's not necessarily happening. Temperature's way too warm, so we'll let you know why. We're at 48 degrees in December coming up.
All right, and if you're looking for your next true crime binge, check out our new podcast, 1 Foot in the Grave. It follows the Lori Vallow case. She's an Idaho mother whose 2 children went missing around this time last year.
Now, at the surface level, it centers around newlyweds appearing to enjoy their new life together, but it quickly falls apart with a mystery surrounding the disappearance of 2 children and a string of suspicious deaths and possible links to doomsday. Now, there was no sign of life from the kids, but also no sign of death. And the couple, well, they aren't talking. But as investigators would later learn, it's a case that speaks volumes without ever saying a word. This is 1 Foot in the Grave.
More episodes of 1 Foot in the Grave are now available on Spotify. You can also text the word podcast to 509-448-2000 to listen.